Yeah. What up, guys? Back again with another UFC Fight Picks video on the UFC Fight Night card, Rockhold versus Branch. Let's go ahead and get started with these picks. Looks like there's no UFC Fight Pass prelims on this card. There was like one fight on there. I think it was this fight right here, the Sago versus Burns fight. But it looks like one of the fights got canceled in the prelims, so they just said, you know, fuck it, no Fight Pass prelims. But fuck it, let's go ahead and get started here. So first fight of the night, Jason Sago versus Gilbert Burns. Two good jiu-jitsu guys, with one being obviously better than the other one. And I'm talking about Gilbert Burns here. He is a slight favorite there, -136, but he's a lot better on the ground, and I also think he's the improving striker. So I like Gilbert Burns in this fight, guys. And also Sago got grapple fucked by Kabilov, and I feel like Gilbert Burns could employ a similar game plan if the striking's not working for him. So I like Gilbert Burns in this matchup. You know, like I said, it's two jiu-jitsu guys, but I just feel like Burns has fought better opponents, and I just think he's better. So I'm going to pick Gilbert Burns on this one. I don't really see him getting a finish, but it's possible. So yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and just say Burns by decision. All right, guys. Now for the next fight, we got Rockhold versus Uriah Hall. Pretty good fight. We got two ranked middleweights. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Uriah Hall on this one, guys. Rockhold didn't really impress me too much in his fight against David Branch. Obviously, David Branch is fighting Rockhold in the main event. Didn't look too impressive in that fight. He's more of a point fighter. Has good clinch work. Uriah Hall is the more explosive fighter here. Obviously, explosive striking, really good kicking and all that. Takedown defense on paper doesn't look that bad either. Of course, he's not the best grappler, so if Jocko is able to, you know, get him down and maybe hold him down for like the whole round or something like that, then maybe you're looking at Jocko just winning that fight like that. But then again, it's Uriah Hall, and you never know if this guy could come out with some crazy shit like how he did in the Musasi fight, well, in the first fight, where he caught him with that flying knee, so, or that jumping knee. So you always gotta watch out with Uriah Hall. He's explosive, has power. It just kind of depends on you know, how he comes out to fight. Hall is the underdog here at +175. I think the odds, I mean, I'd say they're almost about right, but I feel like there's good value here on Uriah Hall. He is on a losing streak, but like I said, I'm not too impressed with Jocko. I just think he's kind of like, I mean, he's good everywhere, but I don't think he's like super impressive anywhere. Where I feel as Uriah Hall here is, you know, really impressive in that striking, and if he's able to employ that, then, you know, he's gonna do some damage. So yeah. Anyways, I like Hall on this one, and I could see it. We could see a knockout finish here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say Uriah Hall by, let's say, second round knockout. All right, next fight, guys. Anthony Hamilton versus Daniel Spitz. So I don't really like this fight. Both these guys are guys I don't really want to pick. Hamilton really let me down in the fight against Marcel Fortuna, where he fought pretty much a jiu-jitsu fighter that fights at 205. Yeah, you know, a guy fighting way down his weight class. Hamilton had at least, you know, 60, 70 pounds on that guy, and he got knocked the fuck out in the first round. I mean, what the fuck? First of all, Hamilton, we already knew this guy had a kind of a shitty chin, you know, crappy chin, pretty much no chin, right? But we didn't think that he was going to be able to get knocked out by a jiu-jitsu guy with no KOs in his record, and in the first round also. So, I mean, it was pretty crazy to see him get starched. I mean, then again, you know, if a punch, you know, hits that chin cleanly, then obviously anybody can get knocked out. But yeah, I mean, I didn't really see that coming. So I'm kind of like against picking Anthony Hamilton, and also he is the favorite here at -195 against Daniel Spitz, another guy here. You know, he actually has a great chin. Daniel Spitz here, very durable. He showed in his UFC debut against Mark Godbeard. He's a good, you know, I'm not gonna say he's like a really good striker, but he's a good striker. You know, he's average, maybe below average. Haven't seen much of that takedown defense, where I feel like Hamilton here is going to employ his wrestling in the fight. And if Hamilton gets that wrestling going, then for sure he wins this fight if he just, you know, avoids getting clipped in the chin. But I also feel like, you know, since he does have that, you know, that really bad chin, if Spitz just lands a really clean shot, he could put him out. Even though Spitz doesn't really have a lot of power, he has one knockout more than the other guy that had, you know, no KOs that knocked out Hamilton. So, I mean, like I said, you know, it's a heavyweight fight, and it's kind of like, why am I going to pick Hamilton? You know, this guy burned a lot of people in that fight. I think Hamilton was a pretty big fucking favorite too against Fortuna, so it was pretty fucking bad, to be honest, guys. It was pretty bad. So yeah, I really just have no faith in picking Hamilton, even though I do think maybe he probably gets the win here. But like I said, you know, his chin is pretty bad. But also, like I'm saying, Spitz isn't that good either. So it's kind of like pick your poison type of thing. But since Spitz is the underdog, I'm gonna pick him. So fuck it, guys. I'm picking Spitz. I think maybe he lands a shot and hurts Hamilton and takes him out. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Spitz, first round KO. Alright, now for the featured fight on the FS1 prelims. We got Tony Martin versus Olivier Aben-Mercier. So I like Tony Martin in this fight, guys. We got two good grapplers here, where I feel like Tony here is also a better striker than Olivier. Both these guys have no KOs in their record, so obviously both of them ain't really got that power. But I feel like technically Tony Martin is the better striker. You know, he's the improving striker. I also think, oh, actually, I don't think, actually, no, there. Martin is the longer fighter, 3-inch reach advantage, 3-inch height advantage, so he's gonna be a bit bigger. Olivier has a, you know, pretty strong looking physique there, looking kind of like a GSP. Pretty much kind of fights like that. You know, he goes for those takedowns and he has really good submissions. But I feel like Martin has, you know, a good enough ground game to avoid all that. And if he keeps it on the feet, I just feel like he's going to be the better striker. So I like Martin here. He is a very slight underdog there, plus 100. Mercier is at negative 120. So it's almost an even fight. Very close fight. So it kind of just depends, I guess, how things work out in the fight. But like I'm saying, I do think Martin has that striking advantage. So I mean, just that alone, being as both these guys are grapplers, and I mean, Martin has also that height advantage, so you know it's gonna be hard for Olivier to really, you know, just handle him on the ground. I feel like Martin has a really good shot at winning the fight, so I'm gonna pick Martin here, and he's probably one of my favorite underdogs here on the card. So yeah, I'm picking Martin. More than likely, this goes to decision though. So Martin by decision. All right, guys. Now for the main card, we got Justin Ledet versus Zhu Anyanwu. So yeah, I'm picking Justin Ledet here, guys. I really like this guy. I like his fighting style. Has really good boxing. Also has a really good, you know, really good ground game, good jiu-jitsu. But his boxing is really good, man. The first time I seen this guy fight against Chase Sherman, he kind of reminded me kind of like a heavyweight version of Nick Diaz. I really liked his style, man. He was landing good shots. His boxing looked really good. And a heavyweight, you know, it's pretty rare to see someone that have, you know, some really good boxing skills like that. So I really like Ledet's volume here. Like I said, like I'm saying, he has really good boxing. I like his style, and he's undefeated also, as you guys can see there. So overall, I really like this guy. So I think Ledet gets it done here. He is a pretty big favorite for a good reason. Negative 390 there. So yeah, he's almost 4-1 favorite there. Zhu Anyanwu or whatever. Not too impressed with this guy. He fought in that Dana White, Tuesday Night Contender Series. Wasn't too impressed with him, so I just, you know, I'm not too impressed with this guy. He's just another one of those heavyweights, you know, got the power or whatever. But, you know, I know this guy's gonna gas. I know he's gonna be, you know, too tired. So, you know, I just think Ledet's gonna be able to take him out. Also, Ledet has a really good chance, so you know, I just don't really think Zhu here is gonna be able to do much to Ledet on the feet. So unless he lets that quick power punch, I don't see it happening. Because like I said, it is a heavyweight fight. But if he can't do that, I mean, if that doesn't happen, then for sure Ledet just, you know, beats him up the whole fight. So I like Ledet here, guys, and I see him getting like a late finish here. So I'll say Ledet, third round knockout. All right, guys. Now for the next fight here on the main card, we got Kamaru Usman versus Sergio Moraes. Another quick pick here. I like Usman. This guy's just, I would say, pretty much better almost everywhere. Doesn't have as good jiu-jitsu obviously as Reyes, but his fucking his takedowns are extremely good. As you guys could see, his takedown accuracy is at 50%, which means he's gonna get you pretty much half the time he goes for that takedown. A very high takedown average also, and good strike output also, man. Usman here is pretty much a complete package, man. Good on the feet, extremely good wrestling. You know, he'll just fucking take you down like nothing, and he's very physically imposing also. As you guys can see, he's pretty fucking huge, looking all yoked and shit. So yeah, he's gonna be the more physically stronger fighter here also. And Reyes, I mean, I don't really see how he could win this fight at all. Usman, I think, yep, look at that. Usman is the biggest favorite on the card, negative 675. That's fucking huge right there. That's for sure. Everybody's counting on Reyes on that one. Reyes is plus 500. Has a shit ton of value on him if you like him, but to be honest, guys, I see this as just Usman just kind of destroying him. I don't think this goes to decision, but at the same time, maybe it can, because Usman could just want to just fuck him up, and Reyes just maybe survives. But man, Usman could when Usman really wants to attack you, you know, he will, and he does some damage. We know he got some power. Or he could just, you know, physically dominate you with that wrestling. So I just like Usman here everywhere in the fight. So yeah, obviously I'm picking Usman. I'm just gonna go ahead and say he wins by a I don't know, man. Reyes seems pretty tough, so I'm gonna say Usman just wins by decision, but it's gonna be a really dominant decision, like 30-26 or something like that. You know, he's gonna mix up his wrestling, his striking, and yeah, just win like that. Could get also a finish, like I said, but you know, I see Usman getting that decision win. So yeah, Usman by decision. All right, guys. Now for the next fight, Gregor Gillespie versus Jason Gonzalez. Another quick pick. I'm picking Gillespie here. Another huge favorite. He's at, what is he at? Negative 425. Really high level wrestler. Good power, improving striker, undefeated. And yeah, I think he's just going to be a little bit too much for Jason Gonzalez. Gonzalez has bad takedown defense, and he's a striker. Also has a jiu-jitsu game. As you guys can see, his finish ratios, I mean, pretty much all his wins are by finish, according to the stats here. He's also pretty long for the weight class, 74-inch reach, but I don't think that's going to be enough to save him here. I think Gillespie here will dominate him on the ground. has the power on the feet also to hurt him. Gonzalez also has been knocked out not that long ago. Yeah, he got knocked out against Drew Dober, actually, now that I remember, before even checking the page there. So yeah, I feel like Gillespie here is one of these, you know, up and comers, one of those prospects, and his wrestling is pretty damn good. So I just feel like he's going to be able to dominate this fight. He could get a finish quickly in the first round if he lands a clean punch, knocks him out, you know, whatever, hurts him, knocks him out, or just dominate him on the ground with that wrestling. So yeah, I like Gillespie here on this fight. I'm going to go ahead and say he wins by a, probably say third round knockout. So Gillespie, third round knockout. All right, now for the next fight, guys, we got Hector Lombard versus Anthony Smith. Kind of another quick pick here on this one. That sounds about right. So I'm picking Anthony Smith in this fight, guys. He is a slight favorite, as you guys can see right there, negative 140. Lombard's pretty much on a losing streak right now, and not only that, he's not as durable anymore. He's been getting finished a lot lately. Let's go ahead and just check out his page here. His last fight, he actually lost against Johnny Hendricks, and everybody knows Johnny Hendricks just really isn't that good either right now. So he lost against Hendricks, and Hendricks is bad now, so that's got to tell you something, right? Before that, he got finished by Hendo. Magny knocked him out also. So yeah, this guy just seems like he's on a downslope, and there's no coming back, pretty much, is what I think. Now he's back, obviously, at 185 pounds. I mean, Lombard's always going to have that explosive power in, you know, the first round, maybe the first couple minutes, maybe even a little bit of that second round, maybe like the first minute or two of that second round. But after that, you know, he's in a gas, and once he gasses, it's pretty much over. You know, anybody with good cardio will put it on him and hurt him. So I feel like Smith here could do that. Smith has really good striking, good multi. His takedown defense here doesn't look too good here on paper. I mean, he does get taken down and whatnot, but I feel like Lombard doesn't really use any of that judo background anymore. He's more of just kind of like get in there, try to knock you out. If I can't, then I gas out and get knocked out myself. That seems like kind of what Lombard does nowadays. So I don't really feel like Lombard's gonna all of a sudden just go to his wrestling, or I mean his judo game on Anthony Smith. But even if he does, I feel like Smith will get back to his feet, land some good shots, hurt Lombard, or if Lombard does try to do that type of game plan, he's gonna gas anyway still by at least by the third round, and in that third round it's gonna be all Anthony Smith. So I just feel like Smith's gonna be too much. His cardio is gonna be too good. He's gonna be too durable. He'll withstand that barrage and come out on top. So I like Anthony Smith, and I see him getting the finish probably in the third or second round. Let's go ahead and just say Smith second round knockout. Alright, now for the co-main event, guys, we got Mike Perry, actually Mike Platinum motherfucking Perry, against Alex Reyes. First of all, we got Alex Reyes making his UFC debut. This guy's a finisher, as you guys can see there. I think, are all his wins by finish? Well, according to the UFC page, they are. Let's go ahead and just check out his page here real quick. We'll just go ahead and open up pairs too for the fuck of it. So obviously a lot of you guys are probably familiar with Mike Perry. Huge power in his hands, good boxing, excellent takedown defense, really hard to take down, granite chin. He's an action fighter, man. He comes at you, throws heavy shots, and more than likely if he lands one of those, you're going down. There you go, right there. Only 26 years old, summary striking. He's coming off that impressive knockout win against Jake Ellenberger. Before that, he lost against Alan Joban. Yeah, this guy's a finisher though, man. Whenever he wins, he's knocking everybody out. All 10 wins by KO, guys. So this guy got that fucking power, and he's an aggressive fighter too. Always comes at you. So yeah, I really like this guy's fighting style. Alex Reyes. So we got striking and grappling here as a summary. He's gonna have 1-inch reach advantage there, 1-inch height advantage. This guy's actually a 155 pounder, pretty much a lightweight. He's coming up a weight class because obviously he's coming in short notice here to replace Thiago Alves. 11 first round finishes. That's a lot of fucking first round finishes, man. Has finished all wins. So this guy is obviously dangerous. He's finished all his wins. Pretty much means he's taking everybody out. So obviously that's a fighter right there, man. That's a hitter right there, guys. Same thing as Mike Perry, man. He's finishing everybody also, except Reyes has some submission wins also, not just knockouts. He has 9 wins by KO. He has 4 by submission, 2 rear naked chokes, 2 arm triangles. 13 fight win streak right now. Lost first 2 pro fights and has been unbeaten since. Normally fights at 155 pounds. This is what's really a question mark here in the fight. Also, of course, not to mention he's coming in short notice against this powerful power puncher right here, man. I mean, look at that. Perry's at negative 460, and I mean the odds are pretty much on the money there, man. I don't think Alex Reyes is a bum. I think he's actually probably a good fighter, man. He has obviously a lot of finishes and shit like that. But I feel like him stepping up short notice against Mike Perry is just just asking for trouble, man. I mean, if he comes out and shocks us, that's gonna be fucking I wouldn't mind that, but for my DraftKings and whatnot, I got Mike Perry, so hopefully Mike Perry gets that KO. But I mean, let's see what Alex Reyes here can do, man, because he's a good striker and excellent jiu-jitsu. But I just feel like that short notice and him having to fight up a weight class. I mean, probably fighting up a weight class probably ain't gonna hurt him that much, but him fighting against Mike Perry short notice, that's gonna cause some damage there. So yeah, guys, I like Mike Perry here. I feel like he's just gonna have too much power. And him having that full camp is obviously a huge benefit here in the fight. Maybe I would think different about this fight if it was a full camp, but even then I'll probably still be leaning Mike Perry here. So yeah, guys, I'm picking Mike Perry, and I do think he gets the KO as always whenever he wins. Probably a second round knockout. I feel like Reyes here will survive that first round, and then eventually Mike Perry catches him in that second round. So Mike Perry, second round knockout. Alright, guys, now for the main event, we got Luke Rockhold against David Branch. So pretty sure most of you guys are picking Luke Rockhold here. He is obviously a big ass favorite. I'm picking David Branch, guys, man. First of all, he's a huge underdog, so excellent value here on DraftKings. If you guys play DraftKings, that's what I play. So I like his price on DraftKings. He's a really good, really good value. So I think he's a really good underdog. This guy was a former 2-division champion over there in WSOF. This guy's well-rounded, excellent jiu-jitsu. Renzo Gracie black belt. Good boxing. He's just solid everywhere. I don't see much weaknesses in David Branch's game. He has good wrestling. I mean, good striking, excellent jiu-jitsu. I mean, he's just good everywhere. Luke Rockhold here, another guy that's actually good everywhere. His chin, though, durability here, though. If we're talking about durability, I feel like David Branch is the more durable fighter. Another thing David Branch has going for him is that he's also a longer fighter than Luke Rockhold. He has a 4-inch reach advantage on him, even though he is a little bit shorter there. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits there for Branch. Let's go ahead and just check out the pages here real quick so you guys can get some more info on these fighters, especially Branch, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys here are familiar with Rockhold, even though he hasn't fought in a while. Yeah, determination, technique, and power. 35 years old. So I mean, he's pretty much almost out of his prime here, but whatever. He's still fighting, he's still doing good. So yeah, his last fight in the UFC and his UFC return fight, because he was in the UFC before, obviously, as you guys can see down there. His return fight was against Jocko, who's also fighting on the card. It was kind of a boring fight, but Branch here, had more strikes landed, had an extra takedown, whatever. He won by split decision. I felt Branch won the fight when I watched it. Anyways, so yeah, we go right here. There it is right there. Renzo Gracie, Jiu-Jitsu black belt. 7 wins by submission. He has 5 naked chokes, a Darce, a Von Flue choke, and he also has 5 wins by KO. 5 first-round finishes, 11 fight winning streak. So huge winning streak right here we got. So you can't really discredit this guy, man. A lot of people are sleeping on this guy, but you can't really discredit him right now. We got Rockhold, 15-3 record, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling. Extremely well-rounded, very dangerous. Pretty much in almost every position. Like I said, his durability is really his weakness, more than likely, and also his striking defense sometimes. That's how he got beat up by Bisping. He got caught with one of those shots, and that was it. So I remember picking Bisping to beat Rockhold, and yeah, I mean, that was a good play, man. That was a good day. But yeah, anyways, I like David Branch, guys. I just feel like he has great value. I feel like he can get it done. I mean, he has all the tools. I think Rockhold's probably coming in a little bit too cocky again. Maybe he feels like David Branch is not, well, pretty much he was saying he's not on his level. So I feel like he's already underestimating David Branch a lot. I think even though he was saying like, oh yeah, I'm not overlooking him or anything like that, but I feel like he is. And I think that's a bad thing, man. I think David Branch here, has a lot of fights still left in him. Excellent record, like I said, extremely well-rounded. And I think he's going to take it to him, man. I think he's going to fight way more aggressively than he has. He's going to be patient because he is a patient fighter. He's very, very high fight IQ. But I feel like he's going to pick his shots and, land some of those hands on Rockhold, man. I feel like Rockhold's chin, has probably recovered already from that Bisping KO. But still, he got knocked out. And that's still always going to, be in you or whatever, So, yeah, I like their Branch. Like I said, I just feel like he can mix it up. I feel like he can land some shots, maybe potentially get, hurt Rockhold on the feet with that boxing. Because, I mean, from what I've seen, his boxing looks pretty good. So I like his boxing style. Rockhold is the kickboxer here, though. He has those kicks to the body, which are fucking devastating. I feel like their Branch here will find a way to get past them. And, yeah, overall, I feel like Branch is a really good underdog. And I know everybody's picking Rockhold, but fuck it. Picking Branch. So I think Branch gets it done, guys. Either he gets a probably like a 2nd or 3rd round KO if he does hurt Rockhold, or he just wins this by decision. It's gonna be probably a close fight though. If he wins by decision, it's gonna be probably a close fight because David Branch's decision fights are usually pretty close. So you gotta watch out with that. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, guys. That's gonna be it for my picks. I'm gonna go ahead and just say Branch by decision. All right, guys. So that's it for the picks, though. Let me know what you guys think about the picks. Post your comments below on who you guys got, who you guys like. But I'm pretty dead set on these picks. I was pretty confident on that last card, and Didn't end up winning, so I was kind of disappointed. There was a lot of fights there where a lot of the underdogs won, so it was pretty crazy. On this fight card, I got a couple underdogs. Obviously, I got Branch. I also got, who we got up in here? Another underdog. We also got a Uriah Hall up in here. We got Spitz. We got Tony Martin. So we got I'm picking 4 underdogs here on this card. So we'll see how much win. My most confident pick, guys, if I had to pick one, I don't know, man. I really like ledet, man. I don't know if I want to be, you know, the most confident, but as a for sure win, I'm going to say Usman is probably the for sure win, followed by Gillespie, and then followed probably by ledet right after that. So those are my top 3 most confident picks. And as far as my, what do you call it? Not my most confident. Well, yeah, pretty much my not my most confident pick would have to be, or least confident pick would have to be Daniel Spitz. I mean, both these guys, like I said, are pretty bad. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna pick the guy that has better durability, which is Daniel Spitz. Hamilton, like I said, this guy's chin is gone. So yeah, Daniel Spitz would have to be my least confident pick. And to be honest, guys, I would pretty much really avoid this fight. But on DraftKings, I said, fuck it, let's just throw Spitz on there. Hamilton on DraftKings is fucking overpriced as fuck. If he was maybe a lot more cheaper, maybe I would consider taking him, but he's not, so it's gonna be Spitz. So yeah, least confident pick is Spitz. Alright, guys, that's gonna be it though for the picks. Sorry for the long video, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it or whatever. Subscribe for more videos. I do these UFC fight pick videos every time there's a UFC card. So stay tuned for more. Subscribe. And yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. So enjoy the fights, these fights, and also enjoy that Canelo fight. If a lot of you guys are watching that, the Canelo versus Triple G fight. So yeah, just enjoy the fights, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.